Hello YouTube, I hope you guys are all doing good. Welcome to another episode. I think this is episode 6, which is wild. And also welcome if you are new. Honestly, I've been astounded, to be honest, at how many people have been like, oh, I found your channel, I've followed you on Instagram. I didn't upload last week at the same time that I usually do. And literally I had people like, excuse me, are you uploading a video today? Which I just find a little bit wild. So yeah, welcome to my bodybuilding prep series to become a bikini athlete for the first time. Just gonna be a wild one, especially for the fact that I'm still in lockdown and prepping through lockdown. I have an interesting one for you guys today. I'm actually headed down to London. I'm going to an interesting place. I'm actually going to try a cryotherapy session in a cryotherapy chamber. I've been invited down by the guys at the quick recovery unit, so I'm going to take you along with me, and we're going to go and see what it's like. In all honesty, the science behind cryotherapy is mixed, but nevertheless I thought this would be a fun opportunity to go and see what it's like, and to just experience it firsthand. And also I just did kind of want to take a little bit of a theme for this video about recovery, because I did actually this week go and get a body MOT done. I went and got a sports massage and had a couple of things kind of looked at, so I'm gonna tell you guys about that. But I probably need to get moving, so we're gonna film and talk. Right then, so earlier this week I went and saw Ant. Ant is a sports massage therapist, where he specialises in trigger point therapy, basically. So finds the specific niggles which are causing you issues. As I get deeper into a deficit, it's definitely going to be more noticeable in terms of having DOMs and having a bit more joint pain and stuff like that, just because you can't recover as quickly on less food, obviously. So I went and saw Anne due to the fact that mainly my hamstrings were really feeling tight, really feeling painful. He basically was saying to me how I've got kind of overactive glutes and piriformes and quads, and they're overactive largely due to the fact that my hamstrings, which are an area which I'm hammering right now because I'm really trying to develop them, are underdeveloped. So he said, you know, just keep doing what you're doing and growing your hamstrings as much as you can. He really did work my hamstrings a lot. It kind of hurt, but to be fair, he did say that I had a very high pain threshold. Like, I don't think I realised, but I kind of felt like I was being like pulled backwards a little bit because of how tight my hamstrings were. So yeah, feeling so much better for it. And actually it's really useful to know his perspective in terms of just like really working to develop like my posterior chain, working to develop my hamstrings even more, which is required for the bikini criteria anyway, due to the fact that obviously you're really looking for those conditioned hamstrings and glutes, and my quads are very overactive. It's not something that you want in the bikini criteria, actually. You really do want balanced legs, and it's not something I have. I'll insert a clip here of my last check-in where you can really see like how much my quads do take over in terms of the proportions of my legs. We'll be keeping on top of sports massages about once per month. He recommended that was enough for me. He said I was in pretty good nick otherwise. Like, yes, you can foam roll, yes, you can do stretching and stuff like that, but do you actually know, or like, do you actually have any idea about the specific areas which your body actually needs treating? I had no idea that my piriformes were really tight. Like, I had no idea until Ant worked on them, and it's ridiculous. Like, as soon as he started like pressing that area, I was like, oof, fucking hell. I was like, oh, I didn't know I needed that done, but I really did need it done. Like, sometimes you just need someone to put a glute in your elbow. What? No, to put an elbow in your glute to make you feel better. Do you know what I mean? Fucking hell, prep brain really is creeping in. And yesterday, to be honest. I wasn't having like the best day in terms of in my headspace, but I did pick up the camera and I did record a little bit, so I'll insert that clip now for you guys. Good morning, YouTube familia. It is Wednesday. Don't know what it is this last couple of days, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not really been feeling 100%. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling like myself. I don't know whether it's the weather, whether it's just lockdown getting to me, whether it's hormones or hunger, fuck knows. I don't really know, but trust me when I say, like, the last few days, like, getting my sessions done in terms of training, not training in a gym environment, honestly, like, I've literally been having to speak to myself like, Millie, get it fucking done. Like, literally giving myself tough love in my head, which is just dead frustrating, because my like therapy and my favorite thing is now almost like a box ticking exercise. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still beating all of my logbook numbers, I'm still progressing with my training, but with a lot of aggressive pep talk to myself behind that. It's fucking hard, man. I just can't wait for some sense of normality. Like, I really, really can't. Like, it's getting to me a bit now. So, yeah. That's that. Feels nice to have that off my chest, to be honest. I didn't actually want to pick up the camera today, I'm not going to lie, because I'm not feeling my best self. But I thought that would be an injustice to actually what I've said, that I'm going to be honest and open with you guys. And even when it is hard to pick up the camera, because I don't really feel like talking, to be honest. I've got tons of fucking unread messages on my phone right now because I can't be asked to reply to people. But I'm going to show you the ins and outs of what happens and how I feel, because even those who seem like the most disciplined and the most motivated, they're really fucking not. They just don't give themselves the option not to. They don't think, they just do. And that's what I've been doing. Like, today I have so much to do. And, I don't even know where to start with the amount I've got to do, so I'm just doing instead of fapping about and needing to worry about it. To those of you who don't know, I'm on a graduate scheme, the nuclear graduate scheme, and we do different placements within the nuclear industry. As part of our graduate scheme, we're tasked with basically making a small to medium enterprise business, where the task of the challenge of creating this business is for it to benefit people and the planet, and to put some good out into the world. And so me and my colleagues have basically created a charitable service called the Care Pack Collective. You can find us on social media at the Care Pack Collective on Instagram and on Facebook. And basically what we do is we procure loads of items that are essential for those who are homeless, and we put them into care packs and we distribute them to charities who give them to people who are on the streets. So I'm off to go and deliver 5 care packs to the winter night shelter in Milton Keynes. And yeah, it's going to be nice to do some good and to put a positive spin on what is a very difficult time, especially with COVID-19 and the pandemic. There has been such a rise in homelessness, and the homeless community is just not getting the help that they really, really need. Not to mention, a lot more people being at home has led to a huge amount of domestic violence cases increasing, basically, and a lot more women and children particularly being made homeless, which is really sad. So I'm going to go to the charity, I'm going to give them the care packs, and I know that they're going to go to a good cause. Hello, you alright?
Betty, my business partner.
Nice to meet you.
And then we have 2 treatment rooms. It's a pre-chamber. This ranges between -20 and -30 degrees.
Yeah.
You stay inside this between 30 seconds and a minute. This is to acclimatise you before you go into the main chamber.
Okay.
After 30 seconds to a minute, I will knock on the door. There's an interjoining door inside, just like a fridge door. Go through into the main chamber. As you can see, there's 9 fans down the back of the machine. When you've been inside this one for 30 seconds or so, I'll flick the fan on. It does create a little bit of a breeze. Some people don't like that. Some people are sensitive to the cold, and if you really hate it, we can turn the fan off.
Yeah.
But if you can bear the fan, it's better to have it on, because then it gets much colder.
Okay.
If you have any particular pain or injuries at the moment, we say put them towards the fan for the majority of the session, so it's penetrating whatever issues that you have.
Yeah.
Don't just stand still and shiver, because it's not going to be nice. Make sure you move around. You can rotate.
Start jumping around.
We advise you to rotate so that you're getting the breeze around the whole of your body. It's not just going on one part.
That was like the perfect amount of time.
Really?
Yeah.
Another minute you'd be like, okay, let me out now.
By the time I started to like be like, where have my hamstrings gone? And also like, I think it's time for a boob job. I've actually frozen my tits off, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was
it's not uncomfortable, is it? It's like bearable.
Right then, cryotherapy. What is my verdict? So I'm only going to tell you honestly what I thought in terms of my experience, and then we'll kind of get into a little bit more of like the science and research behind what I have read about cryotherapy. So in terms of this cryotherapy chamber at the quick recovery unit, the ones that they have are not the ones that blast cold nitrogen gas at you. This one, the temperature is brought down. I think it just works with electricity. They bring the temperature down. So you've got the pre-chamber, which is like minus 20 to 30, which you stand in just to acclimatize for like 30 seconds. And then you go into the properly cold chamber, which goes to minus 100 degrees Celsius. It really didn't feel like that, but yeah, it was awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking loved it. So in terms of like, when I first went in and acclimatized, I was just like, oh yeah, it just feels like I'm stood outside and it's like, you know, there's a breeze. And then when I went into the more like fridge-like thing, and the fan started blowing, I just like, very slowly your body temperature begins to kind of go down, and I found it so relaxing to just breathe really deeply and to breathe in the like dry and cold air. And you could feel it inside, but it wasn't like bone shivering cold. It was just so like mellow. It was dark. The lights were really cool, and it just brought a nice like little atmosphere. So I really did enjoy it. And certain areas of my body towards the end of the 3 minutes that I was in there did start to get really cold. She told me to kind of like point any areas that had inflammation or that were a bit sore close to the fans so they could really cool it down. And so I did stand with like my posterior chain facing that way, because that's kind of where I get most of my muscle soreness. And yeah, as soon as my muscles started to kind of get like really cold, that was it. It was all kind of done. And I think you can go up to 5 minutes in there, but for my first time I only did 3. So I really enjoyed it, mainly for like quiet, cold, like nice atmosphere, just deep breathing. Like it was so, I found it almost more mindful than physical, but it was also nice in terms of like just really feeling certain areas of your body get really cold or like numb. Like I can't even explain it. It wasn't anywhere near as uncomfortable as I thought it would be. It really wasn't. It was wonderful, to be honest. And I think I'll definitely be going back. So what I found really interesting was that she described how certain MMA fighters and boxers who do get like really sore and literally beat up, come in, they feel refreshed afterwards and they're ready to continue their training, and they kind of go in there on a weekly basis, if not more often. I didn't go in there with any particular muscle soreness or DOMS. So I'm very interested to see further down the line in prep, when I start to get a whole lot more sore due to the fact that I'm not recovering as well from being, you know, in a calorie deficit, that I think that might be useful to go and see how that benefits my muscle soreness. So in terms of what I thought and I have found in terms of reading about cryotherapy, There is some evidence that cryotherapy may actually dampen down anabolic signaling, which could perhaps inhibit a bit of muscle hypertrophy and kind of strength gains. And the reason being is because it does dampen down that inflammatory response. Similar to if you listened to or watched my YouTube video where I went over supplements and I kind of said avoid anti-inflammatory supplements in and around your training window. That is kind of a similar effect that cryotherapy has, but it also has been very much so proven to reduce pain and certain levels of inflammation. So that's also why it seems quite useful. So in terms of whether you'd want to go and do a cryotherapy chamber session directly after training, well, you could be shooting yourself in the foot there in terms of making gains. However, if you are trying to make your recovery quicker and you want to get back to training quicker, then maybe when you're in the depths of prep, it could actually be really useful. So there's different elements there to weigh up. In terms of the overall experience, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was awesome, and I will definitely go back. I'll leave the quick recovery units details below in case you were interested to go down and give it a go yourself. But all in all, this vlog has basically been me just trying to tell you guys the importance of looking after your body, especially when you are really working it hard. Growth is just as important as rest and recovery. Exactly as important, because if you do not rest and you do not recover, you ain't gonna fucking grow. Simple as that. So going into the next few weeks of prep, I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm prioritizing my stretching. I'm making sure that I'm booked in for my massages. I might get a little bit more cryotherapy further down the line, just to see how it has an effect maybe when I am more sore, and I will of course report back to you guys. Health is your ultimate form of wealth. You have to respect your body, you have to rest it. And that means sleeping. So if it's really late and you're watching this right now, go to sleep. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please do leave a like and a comment below. Much appreciated if you do. Let me know how you found this one. I will be bringing you another video next week. I am starting a new placement next week. Things are really busy with coaching as gyms are about to open soon. I'm starting a new placement next week. This is going to be one of those weeks where being a busy person, having a busy life and prepping at the same time is going to come with its challenges. So yeah, I'll be very transparent and honest with you guys going forwards, and we'll see how next week pans out. But lots of love to you guys. I will catch you in the next one.